Any concepts from the first 3 sessions that you remember? Any examples? Any queries you have?
Maslow's law we remember now.
Yeah, but Maslow's law was right. It was, for example, induction deduction theory for that. That is not the subject matter of research.
Yes, yes.
Maslow did the research, and based on that, he developed the theory. Any other thing
Yes, ma'am. We
that you
remember.
remember? Any research concept? Okay, Gayatri.
Secondary data and ma'am primary data.
Very good. Secondary data, primary data. What is the difference?
Ma'am, primary data, the survey method is used, observations, and secondary data we can say from the external source.
Yes, external and internal. Both.
Internal.
Okay. Okay, now a few more have joined. I can find here Gayatri. Last time you may be there, but there was no introduction. Can you tell me what do you do? Where are you from? The only objective of getting introduction is giving, I would be able to give examples relating to your field if possible. Yes, Gayatri, Shrinu.
Hi, good morning, Dr. Rashmi, and good morning, everyone. I'm Gayatri. I'm from Chennai,
Okay.
and I'm currently working with an IT concern as a learning and development manager. And I have been into learning and development for almost 10, 11 years.
Good, good. Great. Shrinu, are you there?
Good morning, ma'am, and all. At
Yeah.
present, I'm working as a sales executive in one of the pharmaceutical company.
Your voice is breaking.
It's ma'am, I'm traveling.
Okay, fine. Go ahead, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, please. Okay, fine. Let us start now. We were having a recap, and in that, Mr. Sandeep has told that what he remembers is primary data and secondary data. Yes, these are the two methods of data collection, and we can't talk about research without talking about the methods of data collection. And there are only two methods of data collection as broad concepts. One is secondary data, another is primary data. Secondary data is one which you have not collected, which is readily available. It is inside the organization where you are doing research, and it is outside the organization. Outside means all the books, research papers, articles, audios, videos, diaries, and all that. This is called as external secondary data. Internal secondary data means the data which is available in the organization where you have been collecting the information through interviews, surveys, and all that. This data is in the form of policies, rules, regulations, various reports. So this was secondary data. Primary data is the data you primarily collect. That means you yourself collect, which is not available with anyone in the world. And only three methods are there for data collection, which is primary. One is survey, which is done with the help of questionnaire. Second is interview, which is also done with the help of very small questionnaire. And then there is third method, that is observation. Beyond these methods, there are no methods of data collection. Fine. We are now, all this we are going to repeat because without these methods, no discussion is possible. So those who may not have joined before, or those who may not have got time to listen to the recordings, they are not to worry. They can ask me any question at any point of time. And we are going to obviously revise many things because all these terms we need all the time. So this is module 4 for which we have now joined. And today's syllabus for this module 4 or session 4 is research design. Research design, its meaning, its nature, its need, its features, and what are different methods or types of research under research design. And research design, quantitative design is there, qualitative design is there. And today in this session, we are, as a part of syllabus, are talking about qualitative research. Okay. Anyone remembers what is qualitative research? In the first session, we have talked about, because there we have talked about types of research. Anyone remembers? Qualitative and quantitative, these are two terms. And the word itself indicates something.
Qualitative means, ma'am, the quality of the data, and quantity means related to the number.
Very good, very good. Quantity, the word indicates it is the big number. And qualitative, where the number is small. Now you may wonder, number of what? Number of respondents. Number from whom you are collecting information. See, on this slide only, under qualitative research, you can find 3 methods, which we have just talked about. Observation, focus group, depth interview. These are the words given in the syllabus. The actual words are for bullet 2 and 3. It is one method only, that is interview. But as in your syllabus, these words are used, I have separately given there. It is focus group interview or depth interview. Depth interview means in-depth interview, which is generally of an individual, single person. And focus group interview is of a group. And there is one more method under qualitative research, which is projective techniques, which is very rarely used in management or in training and HR. But where deep psychology is concerned, many times projective techniques are used. So today's content is research design, and in that qualitative research. Now, when we talk of design, can you tell me any lay meaning of designing or design? Why do we design? And what do you design?
Ma'am, designing means we have to suppose design one course for one particular subject. So we should be thorough with that content. What should be the content should be delivered to the audience? What is our main objective of that content? And what are the things we are going to deliver from that content? And what is the core message?
Correct, correct. So when we design anything, first exposure to the design comes in mind when it is jewelry designing, or when you go to a tailor and you don't say that you design whatever you want or sew whatever you want. We have some objective. It depends on where we are going to wear, why we are going to wear in that particular situation, what are the objectives, and n number of things are there. And therefore we design. And as Sandeep has said, for designing a curriculum or designing a course or designing a training program, many things must be in mind. For whom, what are mainly, first of all, the objectives, and accordingly you design. You have exposure to this design in your first semester subject, which was instructional design. Okay, so from that we will go to the research design. N number of definitions you will find. You may find that there is crowd of definitions, but last time I have told many things I put on the slide so that you would be able to write better in the exam. Okay, we will see 1 or 2 definitions which are given below. Research design is the blueprint for fulfilling objectives and answering research questions. Today we are going to study what is research questions. But for the time being, keep in mind, research questions means 5W1H questions. What, when, why, where, who, and how. Why to design, who to design, where to design, for whom to design, who will design. All this is called as research questions. For answering these, what we do is we make a research design. Right? Now, right side in blue. It is an activity. It is a time-based plan. So duration of the particular activity, particular use, depending upon that, the design changes. A guide for selecting sources and types of information, a framework for specifying the relationship among the study's variables, and procedural outline for research activity. So step by step, how you will proceed for research, that also is covered in research design. So on the left, in 3 bullets, you will find 3 definitions of research design. I request you to read these 3 definitions, and if you have any query, do ask.
Madam, can you just clarify on this economically?
Yes. Let others read. You complete the reading of all 3. If anyone can answer this query, you are welcome. Otherwise, definitely I will. Abhishek, all are reading the 3 definitions, which are in 3 bullets. Other matter we have already dealt with. Okay, fine. Sandeep has asked the query regarding economically, the word economically from the first definition. You may have found in the second definition also, in the last but second line, there is the word economy. Anyone wants to answer this query before me? Okay. Whenever you are to take any decision, generally you do research. Whenever there is a problem, there is an issue, you do research. When you do research, you definitely design. When you are to collect the primary data, then sky is the limit, right? And when sky is the limit, the sample can be limitless. Sample means, few minutes back I have told, the data from whom you collect the information is called as sample. So sample can be 1,000, sample can be lakhs, sample can be n number. More the sample, more the expenses. These days, many things depend on Google form. You send the Google questionnaire and you get it filled. But for more and more authenticity, every time you don't depend on Google. So first cost comes in the form of primary data survey cost. You need to collect data. Second cost is regarding interview. Though online interview is possible, it doesn't give good results, the research says. So face-to-face interview, you need to travel, you need to spend time, and therefore here also cost is there. Then observation. People are to be observed. So your time as an observer, the sample's time as observer, and days together, depending upon the objective, again time and cost is involved. So primary data cost. Secondary data cost, more depth is essential whenever serious decisions are taken. For this purpose, you need to have more and more information. More only you can't depend on Google. So more and more reference material, reference books, you need to talk to people, though not primary data, but you need to network so that you get references. You need to attend the conferences. When I was doing PhD, there was conference in Singapore, but it wasn't economically viable for me. It is a story of 25 years back. So I sent a mail to them whether they would send me the proceedings of the conference. They said yes, and they told me the cost in so and so dollars. Though I was not personally going, I needed that, but I had the cost. Then my guide said, when it is not economically viable for you to spend so many dollars, let us approach university. So we approached university, the library of the university, the dean of the department, explained the issue and told them that these proceedings in the form of a book will come to the library. Can library purchase it? Because it is very important matter, it is valuable matter. So it will be useful for many researchers. Once you receive it, please issue to me and I will return in so and so days. So those dollars also I need not spend, but again, it is an expense. So traveling cost is there. The books and other research material cost is there. When you engage as many of you are from training and HR, you must be knowing, or whoever from any other field, you know that whenever you engage people from the work and they are not actually working, but they are giving you the responses at office time, that much time they are giving to you, that means that much cost is there, though many times it is not calculated, right? And therefore economically. And because of that, many times the scope of the research, the time of the research is made limited. Do you remember? Last time I have told about limitations of research. Last time I told that you please take the notes so that they will be handy and very valuable for remembering many things. Has anyone taken down the limitations? I had dictated. Limitation as to sample, limitation as to time, and limitation as to geographical area. Research limitation doesn't mean researchers' personal limitations. You are not to write them in any research because it is your weakness as a researcher. Here we are talking about to what extent the research is limited. And this research is limited to some geographical area, some sample, some time, because cost is also in. I suppose.
Taken, ma'am. I have taken the notes, I think. I have written in my one notebook.
Right. Okay. So now, have I clarified your query?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Anyone? Any query from the three definitions on the left of the slide? Shall I go ahead then?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now, necessity or need or importance of research design. We have by this time talked much about it. It is time saving, expenditure minimizes, resource planning, how much material we are to collect, from where we can decide, scheduling we can do, We can set the process step 1, step 2, step 3 like that systematically. In the first session, we have talked about research process. Then documentation of the process is possible. Time to time, we can check to what extent we have covered, we have completed the design. We can make the changes in the research process, small changes, and it gives us confidence. When the process is set, when the design is done, we can embark on the journey. So it gives us confidence, and it leads obviously to efficiency and effectiveness and reliability. Now we are talking about types of research design. Here we have two designs: exploratory or formulative research design. You may remember we have talked about this before in the first session. To explore means to go in deeper and deeper ways. So whenever apparently some information is available, but we want answers to why and how, we generally do exploratory research. How this is done? Basically, why it is done, underlined points are there. We want to gain ideas and insights. We just don't want to get information. Many times we make mistake in calling information as knowledge. Many times people who have high amount of information, we respect them, but we need to check whether they have knowledge. We have whether they have the ability to transform that information into application with knowledge. So when we want insights, when we want some deeper ideas, exploratory research is done. What methods are used for that? This is one type of design I'm talking about. So search for secondary data. You know, all secondary data is generally qualitative data. RD means research design. When you are talking about qualitative research design, it is in the form of secondary data and primary data also. Survey of knowledgeable persons. So it is survey method. When we talk of survey, number is bigger, so it is quantitative research design. When we do case study, suppose I am talking about the study of management of stress of IT professionals. What I am talking about, study of management of stress by IT professionals. So IT professionals are the sample. Okay. Now, suppose I do the Google form and send to the people whom I know are from IT. Okay. And request them, because suppose I have 10 people whom I know they are from IT. So I send the Google form to them and I request them that send to the people you know from IT. So like this, I collect the data of 100 people. Are you getting? So I'm using survey method. Sample that I have collected is 100 or 200 or 500. It is quantitative. So it is number 2, italics number 2 under A. I suppose you are getting quantitative research design. Now I am talking about case study. Number 3. Same example. I am studying management of stress of IT professionals. Now I contact Gayatri. And Gayatri says, good opportunity, do it for our company. So I say, same questionnaire, you send to your people. So I get all the data of about 500 or 300 or 100 from Gayatri's company. So it is survey method because number is big, but it is from only one company. So it is called as case study. Case study into bracket, it is written qualitative, quantitative. When Gayatri's company provides me the data of 100 or 500, my question is, it is a case study, whether it is qualitative or quantitative, someone except Sandeep is to answer. Am I to repeat?
What is the question?
Okay. Again, same example. I'm studying stress management of IT professionals. For that, I prepared a questionnaire and sent to Gayatri because I know Gayatri is from IT, and request her to fill the form. Gayatri says, good opportunity. I will get it filled from my company professionals, which are suppose 200. So I get 200 data of Gayatri's ex company. Now my question starts. Focus on A on the slide. Under A, is it 1, 2, or 3? Italics 1, 2, 1, 2, or 3? Is it secondary data? Is it quantitative RD? Or it is qualitative RD? Is it case study? Sandeep can answer because he is attending from first session very attentively. So let us wait. Sandeep, wait for some time. Let others try.
Yes.
Gayatri, are you there?
This is, ma'am, I think this is a case study.
I
Very
think
good.
it is a case study. Yes.
Very good.
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
my next question. There are two words in the bracket. Whether it is qualitative case study or quantitative case study.
It's a quantitative.
Very good.
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
number
It is a quantitative.
correct. If Gayatri says take deeper interviews of 10 managers, then it will be case study only, but qualitative. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, once I have told that in research, there is no syllabus, you are to decide your syllabus. So on the slide, whatever is available, you are to decide what design you are going to do. Secondary data is generally must, because last time we have done the portion of literature review. Without literature review, you don't get insights. You don't get the ability to design the questionnaire for getting the information, and therefore secondary data is must. Out of primary data, you have the option whether you will go for a survey or interview. In interview, whether individual or focused, whether you will go for observation or all three or any two or any one. You have the scope, option of designing the way you want. But the only thing is that your design must fulfill the objectives. So I suppose exploratory research design is clear to you. Let us go to the B part, conclusive research. Descriptive research, another name is diagnostic research, where huge data is there and you want only information, not much insights. Descriptive research is done. For example, 1 year back, I have done big project for police department. That was for understanding the training need. TNA was done. But TNA was for a special police force of a particular category. For that, all the police category from that particular destination from all over Maharashtra, data was collected. Afterwards, there were focus group interviews, there were individual interviews of n number of stakeholders related to police and police cases of that special cadre. So interview was there. Observation method was also used. We attended the meetings specially devoted for that particular cause, and we jotted down many things. But as you know, interview and observation, these are the qualitative methods. Right now, I'm talking about descriptive research. So the questionnaire was designed like survey only. It is a survey method also. You can see there ABC under that. Survey, statistical study, quantitative research design. So a questionnaire was framed. When it is descriptive, questions don't go much deeper because you want some initial data conclusion. So from those thousands of sample, thousands of police of that particular cadre, we collected data from the survey method, which was descriptive research. Am I clear? So one simple thing that you are to remember is descriptive research gives you basic information to go ahead. Exploratory research design gives you insights and go deeper for decision making. Now, we are at B1. Emphasis, determine the frequency with which something happens. How many times? Generally, the answer to the question, how many times, is answered by descriptive research. How many times trainings are given? How many times this is in-house training? How many times it is like that? But how? That is answered by exploratory. So let us see now again B, conclusive research, descriptive research. Under that also there are three designs: case study, survey, observation. So when it is only police department, it is case study also. It included interviews and observations, so it is qualitative research design. It included survey with the help of questionnaire, so it was quantitative design also. Correct? And observation method was used. Now one question to you. I had given the example of this police department. Let us focus on B and under that A, B, C. Can you tell me what sequence may have been there? First observation किया होगा या सर्वे किया होगा? क्या करना चाहिए? Yes, Sandeep?
Ma'am, I think first must be observation and then survey.
Okay, good. First observation, so that because we researchers are not from each kind of work, so we have less exposure to police working. So there were initial individual meetings with the commissioner, with the directors and many. After that, observation was done. So we could list down a number of, who will complete the sentence? With the help of observation method, with the help of initial interviews, we could list down a number of dash for making questionnaire. What is this dash? Sandeep, you must be knowing because we have given good amount of time in the first session. And researchers' abilities tested by that. Remember the word? It is variables.
Variables, ma'am, variables.
Because Even though you are from training and you are doing research in training, still you have to apply the same methods. You need to talk to few people initially to understand their challenges, because you know the challenges from your post, your perspective, your perception. For making the questionnaire a good one, you need to talk to people.
Understand?
We call
Yes,
it as
ma'am.
individual interview, so that
Yes,
you
sir.
can list down a number of variables. Variables are the points on which questionnaire is designed. In our next session of 12, we are going to talk about questionnaire designing. There I will show you a few samples of questionnaire. That time you will understand again what are variables. Now, under conclusive research, second type is causal research. In the first session, we have given good amount of time on this also. It is for determining cause and effect relationship. So when the question is why a particular research design has not given much results, or why so and so training programs were not responded by the maybe you generally make a list and invite the people for joining the program. So why there was much absence, why there was no effectiveness of the program in the form of results, whatever parameters of results you have decided. So this cause and effect relationship is established. It is called as causal research. So in nutshell, what is in blue is nutshell. When you want the answers to who, what, where, when, how much, number, frequency, you do descriptive research. B category number 1. When you want the answers to why and how, you do causal design. So for police department, the research that was conducted was a combination. First, it went on descriptive design. Based on that, interviews were conducted, many other things were conducted. So it was causal design also. So it was descriptive design, causal design, quantitative design, qualitative design, and it was of the same department. So it was case study design. Correct? So whenever you decide any particular design, you have to be very alert. What need is there, what need evolves. And as per the need that evolves, you can make smaller changes in the design. Okay. So the same we have discussed, so I won't invest time in that. This also, while explaining the matter before, I had to talk about this. Therefore, this also is done, but still we will give time to this. Okay. So, qualitative research design. We have talked about it. Data is collected, which is very rich in detail, which is very rich in content and context. And we know primary data, secondary data, both can be collected by qualitative methods. So primary data is collected through in-depth interviews, focus group interviews, and observation. You may find FGD, D is for discussion. FGDs are conducted means focus group discussions are conducted. And secondary data, which is in the form of internal and external information. So organizations or institutions information that is also qualitative. Text that is published in the form of books and n number of things. It is also qualitative. Many times you need to observe many things, the artifacts and the offices and the departments, layouts and many other things. So settings and environments, objectives and artifacts, events and happenings. So all this is called as qualitative data. Any doubt on this? We already discussed it, but right now also I have revised. The point to remember is qualitative data is in two forms, under secondary also and primary also. In primary, except survey method, other two methods, that is interview and observation, are qualitative. Why? The sample is less.
Ma'am, is there any number of size of this
Size of what? Interviews?
previous slide? It was written na, the measures like in group discussion. So is there any definite size that this must be this is the maximum size
Yeah.
of it conducting the interviews or
There are
focus groups?
no such strict standards, but generally 5 to 10 is the number, because you are to make people think, introspect, and go deeper and express. Okay. Recently, I'm doing one research. OD. Have you studied OD? Subject OD? Do you have this subject?
Yes, ma'am.
Organization development.
Organization data.
Yes. So I have taught this subject also at ISTD, a diploma. I'm doing one OD project for an organization at Goa. This organization is old age home. This old age home, very renowned one, and it's a big one where every day around 185 people eat. You can understand the number. The residents, the patients, the bedridden patients, the nursing staff, the kitchen staff, the office staff, and n number. So, I'm answering your question, regarding what should be the number of focus group. So, initially, I just had chatting. I visited all the departments. I conducted 1 or 2 training programs in my first 2 visits. Why this was done? I immediately have not started any precise OD exercise. Why? People should know me. People should have connect with me. People should have confidence in me so that they will talk afterwards and they will respond. So in the first 2 visits with a number of activities, as we know, some management games are there and many other things. The mahol was created. The environment was created for the OD exercise. Then what started? Immediately I have not started the survey, because though I have made the survey questionnaire, as recently we have talked, that through observations and through individual interviews, sometimes we get more inputs. So I have kept it at last. I was not doing any survey of all the stakeholders, because the inmates, that is residents who are old, I didn't want information so superficial from them. Because we know from survey, we want deeper information, but I was not going to trouble the residents. And of course, not the bedridden, right? So my design was not to go for survey for any stakeholder except nurses. Because nurses and ward boys, they were 40 in numbers. So I did survey only for them. For others, I did individual interviews and group interviews. Okay. Now for nurses, as they were 40, I can't do focus group interview of 40 at a time. I started with 10, 10, 10, 10. Okay. So that was the group size. When I came to know, when kitchen staff interviews was going on, they were around 12 to 13. I came to know that, and I had all those glimpses in my training program also, that there is high rivalry in the two groups from kitchen staff, like they are enemies to each other. So in the focus group interview of these 13, I get to know, and I got that I can't go deeper. So I made 3 groups of them. Those who are from X group in the rivalry, those who are from Y group in the rivalry, and those who are in the middle, those who are not from this side or that side. Let us do the job, get the money and out. So I did the 3 focus group interviews. Somewhere 4, somewhere 5, somewhere 4 again. Got it?
हमने तुम्हें बताया सीधे बैठो पल नहीं मार के ये ऐसे
Abhishek, you got the answer?
यस
Yes. So focus group interview depends sometimes or many times. My experience is that for focus group interview, I suggest to the HR manager or training manager or business excellence manager, whoever invites in the companies for OD exercise, give me the negative minded people in one group, positive minded people in one group, and the middle one in another group, so that they can talk better. Because negative minded people want to say many things, and these are very important people for us. Why? Because we have to find out the challenges. We don't believe them prima facie, but we get many deeper things from them. And they are confident when they are all negative in one bunch. Same way positive, same way those who are on the fence. So but depending upon that, or your HR manager, your training manager, your business excellence manager helps you in all this. Okay. Or initially when you conduct the programs, before going for OD exercise like that. In the first or second visit, where you do shop floor visits, you do the observation method, then you come to know what kind of groups you can make. And you can suggest to the concerned people, right? So in-depth interview, focus group interview, observation. So query answered?
यस मैम
1 minute. Just give me a second. I will come back. Yeah, sorry. So clarity on this, quality research can be done. This design you can
Yes.
do based on the secondary and primary data methods. Okay. Textual data, audio data, visual data is also secondary data, which is qualitative data. Many examples are given. Please go through. Depending upon your topic, your objectives, you can select out of these. Okay. We were talking about research design, and all the time the word sample comes. There, before sample, there are three words: bigger, universe, comparatively smaller population, comparatively smaller sample frame, and what you want is sample. Okay, universe, population, sample frame, and that sample. You are concerned with sample. Now, universe, as I said, the number, suppose I'm doing research on the issues and concerns of research methodology, students in understanding research. Issues and concerns or challenges of research methodology, students in understanding research. Now, all the students who are studying research methodology in India or in globe is called as universe. Okay. You got the concept of universe. Now forget it.
Yes.
I'm not going to talk about universe now after this. We will focus on only population and sample, but in between sample frame. Okay. So research methodology students from Pune is population. And you people from ISTD are sample. Possible?
Yes,
All the
ma'am.
students studying research methodology from Pune are population, and you ISTD people are sample. Now question may be asked. They are huge in number in Pune because these days in every course there is research methodology subjects at graduation, post-graduation and all that. Why you are taking it as population? So I may say, okay, all Pune students studying research methodology, let me take as universe and forget it. Population will be all students who have studied research methodology from ISTD is population. Time frame 10 years. Within 10 years, all students of diploma who had studied research methodology is population. And now batch 90 and 89 are my sample. Correct? So it is up to you to put the meaning of population and sample as per your research. Why don't we study population? Simple 4 reasons are given. That means why don't we study big number? Cost reason, time reason, reach reason, contacting, and rejection reason. Because all won't entertain you. Okay. So you are exposed to population and sample. Under sample, 2 terms are used: sample type and sample size. Sample type means the people or organizations whom you are collecting data. So regarding the example of stress management, when I said stress management study from IT companies, so IT professionals, if I say in general, it is also sample type. If I say IT executives, it is also called sample type. Whatever category I am taking, sample type. Sample size, number, kitne, how many. Okay. And characteristics of sample means variables. We will see the variables in due course. But there are 2 types: subjective variables, objective variables. Subjective cannot be measured. Objective, which can be measured, like age, income, and all that. Subjective means opinions, perceptions, and all that. When we will see the questionnaire in our next session at 12, there you will get to know more What are these characteristics of sample? What is subjective variable? What is objective variable? Okay. Validity, I will keep aside because comparatively difficult. Reliability and validity. We have discussed qualitative, quantitative research in detail. Just these slides, 4-5 slides, are for a distinction. Just go through. If query, do ask.
Then we can say that in the younger organizations, which are means not very old, there is more quantitative research.
Not
Is it?
necessary. It has
Acha.
nothing to do with. Exactly. Your design depends on objective. What do you want to find out?
Madam, I want to ask about non-probability
Yeah.
and probability.
Yeah, we will cover that today. Okay. Probability is sampling is based on statistical calculations. Non-probability is for that no calculations are required. For the time being, this is enough. When that slide comes, it will be easier for you to understand.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Shall I go ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, next slide.
Here also, ma'am, consistency and
Yeah, in
consistency.
qualitative design, you use observation method and interview method. So you have designed 5 questions, suppose for interview. It is not mandatory that all these 5 questions same way, in the same tone or same content you ask every time. Depending upon the respondents, these 5 questions may turn into 15 questions, 8 questions, 3 questions. So consistency is not expected. So for some interviews, you will need 1 hour. For some, it will be half an hour. For some interviews, some series of interviews for some sample will be required. So there are smaller or bigger changes when you adopt qualitative research design. Why it is not required in quantitative? Because it is a survey form. Quantitative design means survey only. So when survey form is decided and pilot testing is done, no changes are made in the survey form. So consistency has to be there because statistical analysis is done. So when sample you have collected, you are to collect for your quantitative research is suppose 300. All these 300 questionnaire, that is respondents, must get the same questionnaire. Otherwise, it will be difficult to have the statistical analysis and come to conclusion. On the same, there is next point, participant preparation. For qualitative research design, pre-tasking is common. Pre-tasking means before conducting interviews, you need to know the people. You need to create some environment for interview. The people must have at least on hearsay know about you. that this madam comes to company, some project is going on, she has conducted few training programs, at least some, or to the with the respondent also some training has been. So pre-tasking is essential. When you do survey, you need not meet the people even. When I do the Google form and send you for your stress management or any research challenges and all that, it is not mandatory that you know me. So no preparation desired to avoid, because bias is not at all have the room in quantitative, because it is completely statistical analysis based, right? In qualitative interview observation, the bias from the interviewer and interviewee may be there. But in quantitative, it is survey form, very matter of fact, tick marks are to be done, no long answers, short answers are there. So therefore, it must be very standard and consistent. Okay. Next slide, please go through. Any doubt? While the quantitative data collection is going on, out of suppose 200, you get 50 forms. If it is Google form, from form 1, the analysis goes on, graphing and all that. Even though the hard copies of questionnaire are there, still as you collect the form, you go on coding and analyzing and all that. So I'm talking about the data analysis under quantitative, so it goes on. But when it is qualitative, you can't come to any conclusion and before that analysis unless and until the full interviews are complete. You can't jump to any kind of conclusion. And the human analysis is must there. And therefore, the interviewer is to be completely objective in this. When you write your research project, in the research project, nowhere you are to use the words I, me, my, mine, we, us, ours, and all that. Never use such words. Because whatever project you do, whether you are part of the particular work culture or not, you are to keep aside you as a person. If you as a person, your opinions, your biases, your perceptions come in between, there is a problem in data analysis. In the, I told that I conducted vivas of batch 89 and 1 or 2 from other batches. In only 2 or 3, I found the word I, me, my, mine throughout the project because they were not guided properly. Why this is not done? Because it is completely objective. Research is to be completely objective. Sometimes it happens that you are surprised with the results. When you go on analyzing, you are surprised. What you have suppose perceived, it is not the situation like that. When you are surprised, or it may be against your and what you may have decided, but you as an individual is not to be there. You as researcher should be there and look at it very objectively. So insights from qualitative, we get deeper insights. What from quantitative, we get limited insights. When your research is sponsored, to what extent their involvement may be there. So in qualitative, as observer, they may sit, they may help you, but they are not to be the researcher there. They are not to tell you what kind of results they want. Sometimes it may happen. Okay. And in quantitative, rarely there is direct or indirect contact. The project that I am doing at Goa for this old age home, it is under CSR. So funding is given by one organization, two people, individual people, Mr. and Mrs. But only once in the beginning they have met me, but they haven't told me any kind of expectations they want. They said, you are expert, you do the way you want. Until date, I have not met them. On Tuesday, I am going to Goa. There at the time of presentation, because OD exercise is now complete, they will be there. If the sponsors get involved much, this research, because when you are a consultant, you submit the things, you sometimes never know what has happened to the things. But when you are inner person, this sponsor case doesn't happen, but maybe some bosses, maybe you yourself may hamper or may change the conclusions. Be very alert in this matter, because the data is very objective and database decisions should be there for the development of the organization. I think the last one. Smaller sample size, quantitative, bigger sample size, and data security. In qualitative, data security is comparatively more, because you as an interviewer or researcher will definitely safeguard the data. And in quantitative, sometimes it is possible that your questionnaire is hijacked, your data is hijacked. Very rarely it happens, but possible. Probability, non-probability sampling. But again, I have one chart on that. When time comes, I will show that. Now, in-depth interview, that is individual interview, which is conducted in depth. When you are to go deeper into the psyche of the person, individual interviews are conducted. Or when some case histories you want, when you want to check the survey results, many times after the survey is complete, you have your findings, you feel that your research is complete, but based on the findings, you have some questions to be asked. Then again, individual interviews can be conducted. And experiences, choices, biographies, anxiety, challenges, all these are possible with the help of individual in-depth interviews. Group interviews. When people get confidence in their respective groups, and confidence that their information will not be leaked at all, then generally group interviews are conducted. Now regarding the size of group interview, Abhishek has asked the question. So it is diet, rides, mini groups, small groups, super groups. But generally it is 6 to 10. But as per the need, as per the challenges, you can take decision. When in the group of 6 to 10, you find out that 2-3 people want to say more, their body language, their eye contact, their facial expressions say that they have many other things to tell, then you can do the diets interviews or triads interviews of 2-3 people afterwards. The groups can be homogeneous, groups can be heterogeneous, that means different categories, different age groups, or same categories, same age groups. It can be of experts, non-experts too. Now focus group interviews, focus group interviews are the same. Focus group interviews or focus group discussions both mean the same. For focus group interviews, you need to prepare much. Make them open up. Once I was conducting focus group interviews for one OD exercise on a bigger scale, which went on for around 6 to 8 months because many departments were involved, many issues were involved, and it was not generally training and HR, financial, marketing, technological, organization structure, and training and HR, all dimensions were involved, and I had to give suggestions and recommendations on all this, complete organization health. And for that, many focus interviews were conducted. Once it was the focus group interviews of ladies of around 8 to 10 were there. And I had come to know through the, before that, I had shop floor visits, talked to them, invested time with them. Then I had some training program on team building for them. Why team building? Because we can conduct a good amount of activities. Because that time I was not to teach them or train them on team dynamics. The objective was to get to know them and develop the confidence in me. And therefore, that was conducted. So that group, many groups came, the focus group interviews completed. One group, negative. They were not ready to open up. I have asked n number of questions. All these questions have given results in the previous focus group discussions. But these people, I could get from body language, and they were looking at each other that they want to say many things. But to my questions, they were not responding. Then last effort, I said, does it happen anytime that you feel like keeping the work aside and running away from the gate and never to come to the company? Now the flood was open. They started crying, then afterwards they started talking, and the interview went. Otherwise, other focus group interviews were for half an hour or 45 minutes. This interview went on for 1.5 hours. The one said that just now I came for this focus group interview from my boss, and she insulted me so much that I felt like either killing her or killing myself. So what happened? What was the issue? How many times it happens? How do you, n number of questions and all that. So do you remember we were talking about consistency, Sandeep? You have asked the question. So consistency is to be adjusted. It is not very standard. Consistency in the way you ask questions, number of questions, amount of time involved, amount of emotions involved, right? Okay. The place that you are to select for focus group interview is very important. It should be the place where you will get very calm and quiet environment, and where no one will interfere or come in between. Right? Yes. This we have almost discussed. Just read out to yourself. First, you can't ask your first content-based question. First, initial, making them very relaxed. So like, how are you? How was the day? Very, very routine and very boring questions. How will you start? What question you will ask in the beginning instead of what is your name? How many years you are here? How do you do? What question will you ask?
How are you? About his own health, ma'am.
Then you are talking about content only. Don't start with the content.
Okay, then we can start
You
about
can
the
just say,
environment, nearby
you
environment.
can just start with a common question. Tell me something about yourself.
Yeah, it's raining heavily today.
Yeah.
Like this. So, depending upon whatever is happening around, or you must be tired. If it is at the end of the day, how was the day? The day had been very busy and
Very
tiresome.
busy. Yeah.
Like this, you are to set the tone and touch the emotions. Okay?
Mm.
So
Yes,
generating
ma'am.
all that, this we have done with. Advantages. Focus group synergy is established. Synergy means 1 + 1 is equal to 11. So if there are 5 people, you don't get 5 insights. You get 11 insights, 20 insights, 100 insights. So synergy, accumulation is there. Serendipity. Some ideas are dropped, some ideas are developed. You never know how the interview will take shape and go ahead. You as an interviewer need to be expert. You need to study. You need to invest time. Snowballing. Comment by one, on that some other makes the comment, and on that some, so chain establishes. Like we are having chatting. The focus group interview should go in such a way, it shouldn't be question, answer, question, answer. It should be in the form of brainstorming, chatting in due course. So simulation, stimulation, both happen, security, comfort, and all that. You are to time again, are to say that I'm not concerned with your names. I have not asked you the names. And you, whatever you say will be kept confidential and used for only research purpose, right? You are not to hurry in completing the questions, right? You are not to jump to conclusions, right? The shortcoming of focus group interview. Susceptible to facilitators' bias. So you as a researcher must always be alert and awake that your opinions and are not overpowering you as a researcher. Whenever the discussions go on, sometimes it may happen that a interviewee is angry, agitated, and all that. You can't play with their emotions. You can use their emotions, but can't play with their emotions. And therefore, in foreign countries, for individual interview, focus interviews, many contracts are signed that you won't harm their emotions and all that. In India, it is not there. It is generally in the deeper psychology and all that. So always focus on the title of the research. Be clear on objectives, be clear on hypothesis. If you have framed, ask 5W1 each question, open-ended question. Generally, yes, no, wale question. For that, there is questionnaire. in interview, there are open-ended questions where you are to talk elaborately. You means interview is not you as interviewer. Now an exercise. 2 examples I have given. Take any and compose interview questions on the following. First is designing an effective training program to enhance sales performance in the sales department of so-and-so company. Second is study of effectiveness of instructional design in enhancing learner engagement in corporate training program. Take any example. Take 2-3 minutes because only 4 minutes are remaining. We can give time in the next session at 12. But remember, these are interview questions, either individual or focused. These are not survey questions. So there is no yes, no, true, false, such kind of answers. You have to go deeper. You want insights. From the answer of your question, next question should emerge. You may have drafted 5 questions while taking interview, before taking interview, but you should end up in 15 questions because answer to one question gives you room for asking more questions. You first of all, I don't know whether the question came into your mind or not. Whose interview you are taking?
Ma'am, suppose if I am taking the example of a sales department and I am interacting with the assistant manager, so I will be asking just question like currently what strategy you are using to meeting your monthly targets. Second, I can use a question like which are the matrices you are focusing on, or the key parameters where you are focusing to see the effectiveness of your employees on the targets. Which are the key
Okay,
parameters,
will do.
and which are the daily trackers you are monitoring for their daily achievements or daily achievements. Which are the
Okay,
monthly
use
trackers?
2 terminologies, trackers, and before that matrices, right?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Now, you as a, we have seen this point in the distinction. You are to do the pre-tasking.
Ma'am, I
Okay.
have
You are,
put in some.
Abhishek,
Am I put in-
just a second. Regarding these matrices I'm talking and trackers. The company generally gives these matrices and trackers. Am I right?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes. So
Yes,
as
ma'am, it is part of
pre-task,
a review.
you are to study. Yes, Abhishek, you want to say something on this? Okay. So you study that first and you ask the question based on that.
Okay, ma'am.
So our company has this matrix system and we are using these for considerable time. Do you find any challenges in following this? Or do
Yes,
you
yes,
want,
ma'am.
after that, do you want to suggest any changes in this pattern? Same regarding the trackers and all that. So
Yes, yes, ma'am.
generally in interviews, we ask the questions on challenges, opportunities, issues, problems, concerns.
Mm.
Okay?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Abhishek. Sorry, I had to interrupt.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes, what were you telling?
Yeah, I have put in few questions in the chat box
Okay, fine, I will check.
for the sales
Okay,
department.
how many successful sales call did you do in the last week? Okay. How many customers know your product and you? You will remember that I told that interviews generally are not for closed-ended questions. These two are close-ended questions. You can start with this, right?
Okay,
Because
ma'am.
closed-ended
Hmm.
means the answer is given, the question is complete. In both the cases, it is happening. Important is after first question, what next questions you are going to ask. Okay, you think
Okay.
on this, you develop this question. Sandeep also can talk, Vapi also can talk on this, or they can design some other questions. It is now 11:31, so we need to stop. Okay, we will rejoin at 12. Okay, thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.